everyone to this live stream and everything. Basically, just like before and everything. Like at one point, I was initially thinking about going to a park and stuff, but like the thing is that I actually have a lot of stuff to take care of for today. So I'm like, might as well go live on YouTube and um be able to take care of just a brief live stream for this morning and everything. So yesterday, if you was able to follow me on Twitter, I was able to take a blue Prevo on my first ever express bus route. Now, um, many of you that have been subscribed to my channel for a long time know that my first ever express bus route was the Sim 35. And basically yesterday I was able to take Prevo 1571 on that exact route. Now, admittedly, it was a nice, cool ride and everything. One thing that I was kind of chuckling about is that the driver that I had yesterday and stuff, like, he kind of had this habit that I have at times, especially when I'm driving for Via Jersey City, is that he kept honking the horn and everything. Like, at first, I was trying not to say anything in particular because my parents dropped me off at the bus stop, and he started to pull off, and it looked like he was honking at my dad and everything because basically he couldn't help where he was parked in particular, so the driver started honking at my dad's truck and stuff. But then I noticed, like, along the way, like, to let others know that a bus was coming, he just decides to honk the horn anyway, and it was just a slight thing that he did and stuff. And one thing you're gonna notice at the end of the video, on Patreon and everything, on Prevo 1571 and on the Sim 35, is that even though the bus, even though it's among the newer buses that do automatic announcements, and he still decided to just say to stop and tell everyone to just watch their step and to have a good day and everything. I wasn't able to catch all of it and stuff because I had in my mind to, once the bus stops, then that's when I just basically stop the video to save on time and stuff. But I decided to, yeah, that was that case. And where I was going yesterday, because I was going to meet up with some friends in Manhattan, so I got off at Pearl Street like usual and everything, basically by the local Kingdom Hall, and basically I was planning to meet up with some friends, and I arrived there a half hour early. So I decided to walk down a few blocks, and basically from there I was able to to bus fan over by the Manhattan Bridge, which explains the thumbnail for this video and everything. That Nova hybrid was something that I caught yesterday and stuff. I caught yesterday over by the Manhattan Bridge area. I believe on Madison Street. Yeah, I think it was Madison Street. And I'm sorry, I just noticed my neighbor's dog. It kind of made me laugh a little bit. Um, basically, basically, I was able to catch a few decent buses there. I caught some of the XD60s from Mother Clara Hale. I caught the articulated Novas, and of course the hybrid the hybrid Novas. And there was a few next gen hybrids that were over there that kind of surprised me and everything, because I know the OG hybrids are retiring, but once you see the next gen hybrids in my video, once I get the chance to upload these particular videos and everything, it will look so much like, you could tell that the next gen hybrids are on their last leg, which is kind of sad. The last buses to like be in revenue service before I was 10 years old and everything, they're slowly going away. I mean, stuff, because, oh, wait, never mind. I think I was already 10 and stuff. because I remember first seeing them on Staten Island, I believe in 2007, because I was in fifth grade when the next gen hybrids first came to Staten Island and stuff. At first, I was like, what is this cool looking futuristic bus and stuff? Like, that was my mindset at the time and everything. And then finally, I got to take one on the S40, on the S40 coming back from St. George, and we was with we my parents and I, like, we got off the ferry and everything, and we was are making our way back to St. George, from St. George, that is, to our car, which only took a few stops. And anyway, that was my first time ever on a next gen hybrid, and my first time ever hearing the famous words on all the newer buses since then: please exit through the rear door, which I think almost every MTA operator hates nowadays. Although you don't hear it on the Blue Prevo, though. On the Blue Prevo, because there is no rear door, um, they have their own special bell, and then you hear "stop requested," which I kind of find unique and everything, in favor of "please exit through the rear door," because if they had that in haphazardly, you could have had some smart guy like me saying, "What rear door?" That dog really wants attention. I'm like, wow. So funny and everything. Like y'all don't see this because I don't want to give off where I live, but basically, basically the dog is barking enough, but next thing you know, it's standing up at the screen door and pushing the door down just to get attention from his or her owner, and it's just so funny and everything. And I believe it's a golden retriever. I'm not good at dog breeds in particular and stuff. Like I know I know after my cat died shortly before the pandemic and everything. Well, before my cat died, I said that once she goes, I'm done with pets and everything. Like, her sister died back in 2015 and everything, and um basically when I found out, it was devastating and everything. Like, it hurt because we had both cats ever since I was in second grade and stuff, and we had them for a long time and everything. Anyway, her sister died back in 2015 and everything, and my other cat, might as well say her name, Mimi. She was 19 when she died and everything. She was old. She was older and everything. But she still, like, grew gracefully, I should say. She still acted like Mimi, but then in the final few weeks and everything, she started slowing down and stuff. And I didn't think nothing of it. In fact, the morning of her passing, I still heard her and everything when I was heading out and stuff. And I still remember the recordings that I made that day, where it was a trip on the Sim 35, and then I was taking the R train back to Whitehall and everything. And it was on a Alstom R160 um set of trains and everything. And the train left, and and basically I missed the ferry. I came back home, and like, I didn't think nothing of this at the time. I didn't know that that would be the last time I heard my cat. And basically, my dad waited for me on the other side of the ferry terminal, even though I missed my boat and stuff. Uh, we got we got home, and we were backing up in the driveway, and like, I didn't think nothing. Like, at first I saw a trash can that we had in the attic thrown out and stuff. So, my curiosity led me to see over there why that was thrown out. But then I also saw the container for the cat litter, and then that's when I realized that I lost my cat. She was 19 years old and everything. And like, it was devastating and everything. Like, arguably the cutest cat ever and everything. I know you're thinking every owner says that and stuff, but if you was able to follow me on Fope back when I had my Fope account and everything, I had pictures of my cat uploaded short, or base, basically I had pictures of her before she died and stuff, and basically like if you remember seeing the pictures in particular, and it's probably on some of my old tweets from back long ago, back when I used to have Fope and everything before I had Instagram. You basically basically had to recall seeing pictures of my cat. So basically, I was devastated. But yeah, I said all that to say that the dog over there looks really sweet and everything. It's just I'm personally done with pets because like the thing is after you love them and grow attached to them and everything, when something happens that you lose them, it's devastating and everything. And I don't want to put myself through that again and everything. Like I know if I had a dog, I have a few preferences. Either a beagle, a Dalmatian, perhaps a golden retriever, and stuff. But you know, like everyone has their own different kinds of preferences. I know I used to have a neighbor one time that had a Siberian Husky and everything, who was just the sweetest little thing and everything. Like, what was so cute was that every time another dog passed by, she was barking and moving around, all happy and joyful to see another dog and everything. And then, whenever it snowed outside, she was just the cutest and everything. Like she was so happy because that's the breed that she was is and everything. And I don't want to say was in a past tense and everything. Like I hope she's still around. I hope her owner is still around, even though they have since moved and everything. And admittedly, the owner was an older gentleman and everything. Really nice individual and stuff. And you know, like the neighborhood that I live in and everything, and like there are some generally nice people and everything where there's often not too much craziness going on where we live and stuff. But like every once in a while, you may have some punk try whatever and everything, and wonder what's going on. But you also gotta stay clear just to be safe and stuff, and sometimes check Citizen app to make sure that nothing too crazy is going on, so you don't have to board up at the last second. But hey, it is what it is, and everything. Now going back to like transportation and everything because this is ATV live, is the fact that basically like yesterday, after I was able to finish bus fanning over by the Manhattan Bridge, it was time to meet up with some friends of mine. And basically, for the first time in 2 years, I was able to take the M15 Select Bus service and everything. I believe I took 6446. I believe I could be wrong. It was an XD60 and everything. And it was a nice, decent trip and stuff. It took 3 stops. It took basically 3 stops to get back to Pearl Street and everything. And then met up with my friends. We went over to Bowling Green and everything, and basically I was able to be at Bowling Green for a little while and stuff, and I was able to catch a few buses and everything. One in particular was a still newer Van Hool CX45. You know how the newer C series have the horizontal headlights instead of the vertical ones from the previous variants, which to me look kind of ugly and stuff. And speaking of Van Hool, um, I noticed that in the United States they don't sell the T series anymore. The double decker TDX 25 they still have, but the TX 40 and 45 they don't have that anymore, which I think is sad because even though for some weird reason the C series was more popular, I preferred the design of the T series. To me, the T series looked way better and everything. In fact, if y'all recall, a long time ago, I used to say that that's kind of my dream fleet for Megabus. For the taller buses to have the TDX 25, and for the newer and for the shorter buses and everything, because Megabus still even has some shorter buses like the J4500 and everything. In fact, that's actually what their shorter buses are here in the United States, um, and also Canada, I believe. But basically, I said all that to say that in some cases, I prefer the TX45 for Van Hole and stuff, but it sadly got discontinued and everything, which I thought was kind of sad and everything. But hey, the C series is popular, and even though I don't like it too much, it is what it is. And then there's a bee right by my slipper stuff. I'm trying to be calm and still because I don't want to cause any problems and everything. Because if it stings me, it hurts. But then he dies and stuff. Either way, I just don't want to get stung by a bee and everything. Like, I don't think I've ever got stung by a bee in my life. If I mean, I think it may have happened one time in fourth grade where I remember, or I think it was a bee landing in my hand, and then I closed it in a fist, and the stung hurt like crazy. I was screaming, I was crying, I wanted to go to the school nurse and everything. And basically like it was the worst pain that I felt at the time and everything. Like normally like when you're a kid the worst pain you could get is a spanking, but like a bee sting was just as bad. But hey, um and then next thing you know, like basically, back to Bowling Green, I was able to catch a few more buses and stuff. And basically, after I was done, I was trying to run back to catch the ferry back home to Staten Island and everything, but I missed it. I unfortunately missed it and everything and stuff. And basically, the bus passed the ferry passed by and everything, so I was like, you know what, instead of waiting here for another boat, let me just go back over to Bowling Green and take the express bus home. So I got on the express bus. It was Prevo 2664 on the Sim 3C and everything. And one thing I want to point out is that at least the at least the white Prevo from the other depots, the white Prevo from the other depots, and even Meredith too, they don't have the front row of seats still blocked off. Like the blue Prevo, at least from Meredith, still has their seat blocked off, and I wonder why and everything. Because yesterday I took 1571. The front row was blocked off, and you're gonna notice that when that video becomes available on Patreon, and also a few weeks ago, I think I took 1584, I believe, on the Sim 15, and for some reason that was blocked off too. Like, why does Meredith still have the front row seats blocked off? And the reason why I'm asking Meredith in particular is because I've yet to take any of Charleston's Blue Prevo and everything. Now, one thing I want to bring out is that I have a friend out of Charleston Depot that told me, and he operates on the express routes and everything, that he told me that the Blue Prevo, the way they drive, they because of the technology and everything in there, they drive almost like minivans and everything, which I was I was kind of amazed and stuff. Well, not like minivans, but like regular vans that you have to be careful with and stuff. It's almost like me when I drive for Via, for instance. Like Like the vans that we have, the Mercedes-Benz Metris for via Jersey City, they drive like a dream and everything. Like the power steering is light like a feather and everything. Like I drive with my right hand, to be honest, and everything, and like they're so easy and so fun to drive. It ain't funny and everything. And one thing, they're tough. They're like tanks and everything, which to me is something that you rarely hear from a Mercedes Benz and everything. At least they're consumer vehicles and everything, which the Metras is kind of their consumer vehicles in a way and stuff. Which hey, it is what it is. But thank, but thankfully, like they drive well and stuff. One thing I don't like at times, and Via actually called me yesterday for whatever reason and everything, but um like one thing I had to bring out is that it always seems like the depending on which van I have, the check engine light is on, or the tire light is on and everything, and I don't like that too much and stuff, cuz like it just scares the living daylights out of me, and then I think that, it's a little bit um it's a little bit inconvenient, I should say. It seems inconvenient. Yeah. And it is what it is and stuff. I know for the project that I'm working on and everything. Now, generally for when it comes to buses and everything, for transit buses, I'm a new flyer guy. And, but for the coach buses, whether it's commuter or highway coaches, I'm more of a Prevo guy and everything. In fact, I wish that for the MTA, the fleet that I would much prefer. Whoa, some weird bug just got on me just now. Uh, but yeah, the fleet that I would pretty much prefer. I gotta get up. I gotta get up. But yeah, the fleet that I would personally prefer is the new flyer is the new flyer XD XD40 or XD60, and the Prevo X345 commuter for the MTA. That's just me and everything. Everyone has a varying opinion and everything, and I'm sure everyone's gonna mention that, like, their particular dream fleet and stuff. But I said all that to say that for the project that I'm working on and stuff, in some cases it's kind of the opposite, I should say, for for this company in particular's dream fleet and everything. Now for the transit buses, I'm choosing the I'm choosing the New Flyer XD60. I'm choosing the XD60 in particular, or and stuff. I mean, I would have went with the Nova Bus LFS Arctic, only because of the fact. I like the only reason why I didn't choose this in particular is because not only do the flush windows look kind of weird on the Arctic, on the newer Arctics and stuff, but also, because of the fact, these bugs around here, seriously. It's also because of the fact that at basically basically they're basically the buses in particular, they're they're not they're like the buses in particular, where they don't have doors that open on the left side and everything. See, that's the cool thing about the Excelsiors and everything. There are even some places with a former bus rapid transit and you can even look at the specifications on New Flyer's website, where they could have up to 5 doors opening and everything. Like the Emerald Express in Eugene, Oregon, which I've mentioned about so many times and everything. They have Excelsiors There's the XDE 60, to be more precise, that opens on both sides and everything. And three doors on the right side like usual, and two doors on the left side and everything. And that's the kind of BRT system that I was considering. That's the kind of BRT system I was considering in particular, that, I prefer, that looks nice in a way. And it's the kind of BRT system that I was thinking of, like, definitely the XD60. Now, for the commuter coaches, even though I prefer the Prevo X345 commuter, I've I've decided to choose the MCI D45 CRT without the low entry vestibule. Now, why that one in particular and stuff? Like, I'm not completely against MCI. MCI is an excellent company and everything. And in fact, I love that New Jersey Transit is the last customer ever with the D4500 CT. Now it's officially out of production, and MCI is shifting focus to the CRT and CRT LE. But unfortunately, I mean, like, not unfortunate, but like, at first when it came out, like, the to me, I thought the low entry vestibule looked so ugly from the outside. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the attention that MCI was going for, or and everything, where they tried to create something that would be comfortable for for um for disabled passengers and everything. In fact, I even have a friend of mine um who who operates in a motorized vehicle and everything, where she mentioned back when she took the express bus that there were some passengers that were rather impatient with regards to her circumstances. Now, for everyone just joining, if you're going to make any references is towards what I just said, please be respectful in the comments. But I said all that to say that in a way, the bright side about having that low entry vestibule is that it could be easier and faster for disabled ones to board, even though I think MTA decided not to go with it because that's a rather low demographic, in a way, where to my knowledge it seems like there's not as many people that are disabled taking the express bus and everything. And again, I could be saying this out of ignorance, where it may be true, it may not be true, and stuff. But basically, that's the choice that the MTA went with. Is it a bad choice? No. It's something that they've decided upon. And not to mention one bright side that I might add with the low entry vestibule. And if you want, you can check out some videos like Kate Sip 8110, for instance, back when Charleston tested out the D45 CRT LE. When the bus was able to stop, there were some passengers that got off at the rear door that wasn't disabled, which I thought I thought was pretty unique, especially because of the fact that it's not like we use the luggage compartments underneath for the express bus anyway, and stuff. Which, other than the comfortable seats, some part of me don't see why we have these particular commuter buses and stuff. But it is what it is and everything. I mean, I'm not completely complaining and everything, because, admittedly, one thing that one YouTuber a while back pointed out in my first ever express bus trip is that the is that if the MTA decided to replace all the Prevo with Suburban X Novas and Excelsiors with comfortable seats just like the Prevo, but a low floor and everything, then some would complain, that they're paying a premium price to have a bus that's practically no different than the regular transit buses and everything. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I wish the express bus was $2 cheaper, In fact, before I boarded the express bus yesterday, there was a gentleman that was asking me what the price for the express bus was, and I told him it was 675 and everything. And basically, he's like, I can use a MetroCard, and I said yes. And and even the driver and everything who meant well, but he had a somewhat exhausted demeanor and everything, which may have meant that he was driving and for some time throughout the morning and everything. But I said all that to say that when I got on first and I was able to get the front row seat, just heads up for that video. And basically basically out of nowhere, the ex the what's it called, uh uh is basically the gentleman asked the driver, like, do you accept metro cards? And basically the driver said, does it have money? And he tried to put the metro card in, and he didn't have enough money, but his friend was kind and courteous enough to be able to pay for his fare too, which like, it's rare we have people like that nowadays. But it was nice to see and everything. Either way, we eventually got back to Staten Island in no time and stuff. And that was basically that trip in particular. But I said all that to say that yeah, for my project, I'm choosing the MCI D45 CRT only because the way it looks and everything. To me, the X3 commuter looks nicer. The newer X3 commuter looks nicer, like the blue Prevost that we have on Staten Island. I have Charleston and Meredith. I know it's at other depots like Fresh Pond, Eastchester, Spring Creek, and others throughout the city, but I don't know where they are all at and everything. And I'm sure everyone watching is probably going to comment on where the other, de- where the other, um, which other depots have the blue Prevost and stuff. But I said all that to say that personally, I'm choosing the D45 CRT because it's something about its like somewhat cartoony aesthetic look that matches well for the particular project that I'm working on and everything. And I don't mean cartoony in a bad way and everything, but the idea for the project is, yes, it's mainly a theme park resort and everything. My idea of a theme park resort and everything, kind of inspired by with some partial inspiration inspired by the Walt Disney World Resort and everything, both before and after Walt's death and stuff. Now, especially before Walt died, he put much emphasis on making sure that the transportation system would work well with the monorail and the wetway. Now, instead of that, of course, my emphasis on is having better buses and having mainly a travelator system as um, as a form of local forms of public transportation, and not to mention a few other things. But back to the buses to get to this particular resort and stuff. Um, I said all that to say that it's something about the design that just matches well. Because for the project, the idea is to have is even I'll tell you what the project is. I'm writing a book as we speak. I'm writing a book on my idea of this particular theme park resort. And of course, I don't mention the name of the products in particular because of the book. Sorry, I had to shout because of the helicopter flying. But but it's something about the design Well, the book, the book is designed in a way where some of the more detailed topics and everything is written in a way that the altogether book is written in a way where it's written like a child would write it, a 10-year-old or something. And it's written in that format so that way the reader could be able to easily grasp and understand where I'm coming from with regards to certain things. Like um, one thing I mentioned is that the entire resort is powered by a form of renewable energy, especially the planned community that's included in the resort, which is practically a company town. And the way and um, how the form of renewable energy is taken and everything, how the form of renewable energy operates, it's described in a way that it would be easy for the reader to get where he's talking about. Uh, and not to mention, like the idea is to bring it up in a childlike manner, or so that way, in some cases, we pay more attention to it, and like observe things even more and everything. Like initially, I wanted the buses to look like a preschool craft project, almost, and everything. Like the logo, for it called the crayon bus, but um, base, basically, it slightly became a little bit, had a little bit slightly cleaner design more recently and stuff. And basically, that's how I was able to come up with the crayon bus and stuff. And then finally, I, um, like walking back and forth, like I'm sorry for y'all if it's a nuisance, but you can imagine me. I do not like bugs and stuff, but I still just wanted to get out the house to a degree. But um, basic, basically, it was a few different design ideas that I was thinking of for imagination and stuff. So, sorry about the car alarm. It's not my car. um, so, basically, it's written in a way like a child would write it almost. Else, and no, it's the idea is for it to be able to easily grasp. Like, if I go into full detail on how the form of renewable energy works, for instance, then it would be tough to grasp and stuff. But anyway, yeah, for the main forms of public transportation, you got the XD60, you got the D45 CRT, and for the other buses that are actually around, I've also chosen for the medical buses, I wouldn't mind the MCI D4520, and for a charter service that would mostly be available for guests to imagination and workers out of them this theme park resort. Basically, I'm choosing the MCI J4500, and for one of the theme parks in particular, which is kind of a combination between a theme park and an aquarium and everything. And there's gonna be a slight tour bus service is with some red double-decker buses, almost like how it is in London. And I've chosen the Alexander Dennis Enviro 500 and everything. Not the super low variant, just the tall variant like what Sound Transit has in in um Seattle, I believe. Yeah, I think it's Seattle. And also Foothill Transit. They also have this particular bus, but I've chosen that one in particular and stuff because I think that one would be a really decent design and stuff. And then finally, for the plant community and stuff, like right now I'm back and forth on if we need school buses, because also what's included is somewhat of a private school in the plant community, which is independent from the local school district um, where this place would be if I had the time and money to build it and everything, the time, money, and resources to build it. Um, basically, basically, I've basically um, for um, for context, it's kind of a private school that offers free tuitions to the children of employees and everything. And even the employees themselves are also welcome to enroll in some of the programs, because the idea is to switch from. Wow, that was a pickup truck that sounded like it had a big engine. I was expecting to see a tractor trailer come by, but I said all that to say that the 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 private school kind of replaced the usual tests, lectures, and all these other things with an interactive game-like course and everything, where you know no, it's where it's okay, where you actually have fun learning and everything, not in a way to dismiss the needed curriculum that you have, but it's so that way you could be able to apply stuff in a way that's better and everything. Like, for instance, how do we know our ABCs? For instance, we know the song A B C D E F G, and the idea is to go in that particular format. Like that's for instance, for instance, recently I was able to learn American Sign Language, and my instructor and everything, and was basically taught our Zoom class that in a similar format, where in a fun way, it would be easy for us to remember. It would be easy for us to it would be easy for us to remember. And I was actually amazed by that. So the idea is to try a similar format with that, with you know basic math and science, because all the other types of math that we've learned down the line and everything was, to me, unnecessary for everyday life and stuff. And then you would have a combination of world history and literacy and everything. That's the basics, and not to mention a few other courses that would be involved. But I said all that to say, for the school buses, is right. For right now, I'm going with the Bluebird Vision and stuff. Like there's a number of school bus options that we have, of course, here in the United States alone. Like there's there's the Thomas Built Safety Liner C2, which is a design I have never took in my life, and I've always wanted to for some weird reason. And you have the ICCE series, which is another nice looking bus, I might say, and stuff. But it's something about the Bluebird Vision, where the front and back of the bus just has that nice looking school bus design that I've always admired ever since I was a kid and everything. Because yes, I was even into buses and trains when I was a kid. It's like it's in the description for my channel, but and that's basically that. Now, one company I wish that still built school buses but sadly doesn't anymore is GMC. Like the defunct Atlantic Express company that was based here on Staten Island and everything, they had older GMC school buses and everything, which had the same amount of capacity as the CE, the C2, and the Vision and stuff. Uh, and it was a nice, decent design, and the fact that it was something potentially universal, where It's like awesome. GMC has this because you know me, I prefer to have everything from one company. That's why for the most part with all of the buses that I have mentioned thus far are like the only two that are not from the New Flyer group is the Bluebird Vision, and then finally for the planned community, I thought of a another bus rapid transit system, but this time instead of using in the Excelsiors, instead they have their own trolley buses and everything, because like I wanted to give it somewhat of a European vibe. Like you know how in Europe they got a lot of grass paved tracks and everything. So why not have a grass paved busway and everything? I mean, don't get me wrong, all the busways in the resort are grass paved and everything to give it a nice, better looking aesthetic than many bus rapid transit systems. And it's really based on inspired by the design in Eugene, Oregon. But like I was thinking, what if we end up having and trolleys and after like a lot of consideration because I even asked New Flyer, can you put a cow catcher in front of it in Excelsior, and I never heard back, or even make the Excelsiors look like a trolley in some way, shape, or form, and I never heard back. So in this case, I'm going with the Gillick trolley. Now, you may have seen my posts last night before I went to bed and everything, and basically I was watching a number of videos with the Gillick trolley out in Long Beach and a few other places and stuff. And to me, to me, like from the outside, I don't like that I've chosen something out of the New Flyer group. I'm not devoted to the New Flyer group, but basically, I like to have everything from one manufacturer in particular. But then, but then, basically, like they don't build trolley buses, not with the overhead wires and everything, because I hate overhead wires. But basically, something that looks rather decent. That looks rather decent in a way that looks like an authentic trolley system and everything. And you know, basically, only two companies have it that look rather nice. Gillick and Hometown. But the problem with Hometown is that the destination signs don't look big enough. So basically, instead of the destination signs in particular were being too small, which is prevalent on the Hometown trolley, I decided to go with Gillick because even though it's separate, both they and the Excelsiors have the Cummins L9 engine and everything. So even if the outside doesn't look the same and the manufacturer is not the same, at least the engine is the same. Like both running off of diesel fuel and everything, and you know, it will basically work. Now, you're probably wondering why I've chosen diesel instead of electric in particular, or even perhaps fuel cell. It's because what's included in this project is even a fuel refinery that refines fuel from hydrogen and carbon and everything. And this is actually a project that's out there and everything where you could create this synthetic e-fuel to create gasoline, diesel, and even kerosene for planes. And you don't need a modified engine. Now, if this now now if this project was actually real, like this could actually help in some cases because I'm sure there are many companies out there that sincerely want to help the environment in the best way possible. The reality the reality is that unfortunately like a lot of the stuff that's apparently better for the environment or is supposed to be better is more expensive and stuff, and not to mention have a few complications like for instance you'll you like it's rare when you hear of someone having a working used electric car. A working used electric car is at times not the best product to have. It's sometimes not the best product to have and everything, because unlike an older gas vehicle, like there's a few more complications, the battery's expensive, and a lot of drama. But basically a gas vehicle for now retains its value and stuff. And instead of like importing fuel constantly, we could just make our own fuel on site and stuff. Like for instance, with kerosene and everything. Like I know Airbus is working on hydrogen plane project and everything, and don't get me wrong. I want to see it go. I hope it goes well and everything, because a lot of time and resources was put into certain projects, and you don't want certain projects to crash and burn in a bad way and stuff, because I know what it's like to have a project that crashes and burns in some cases and stuff. But I said all that to say that personally, out of personally, like out of all of the like even if even if the hydrogen plane project goes well for Airbus, like what would be a challenge is not getting them in the air, but having enough airlines to be able to invest in this project, enough airlines to invest in purchasing airplanes, and not to mention airports being willing to create a hydrogen storage in place of kerosene and stuff, which which is a challenge, which would be a challenge in itself and stuff. See, with using this synthetic form of kerosene, basically you don't need modified planes in some way, shape, or form. You don't need modified planes in some way, shape, or form. You could have the same type of airplanes. You could have a brand new, you could have a brand new Airbus A320, and um fill it with the synthetic kerosene. And if for some reason you have to go to another airport, like let's say due to an emergency, it could be it could be refueled with the traditional form of kerosene and stuff. So like that's why, even though I'm in favor of hydrogen or sustainable aviation fuel potentially taking off, like it has a few challenges to overcome. So I've been on here for about almost an hour and stuff, and basically basically I'm actually gonna head back inside now because it's starting to get hot, and I just want to get inside the air condition and everything. So either way, what are your thoughts on this video? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Alright, and also don't forget to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and also become a Patreon member by going to patreon.com/dreamjournalprojects. And basically that's it. I'll see y'all later.